Jyoti Chauhan. I'm assistant professor in Janvier School of Pharmacy, which is a part of Suresh Janvier University, Jaipur. And today we are going to study about this topic, carbonyl compounds that contains your aldehydes and ketone. And this unit is your fourth unit in your pharmaceutical organic chemistry first, which comes in your B.Pharm second semester. So today's learning objective. Today's learning objective is here we are going to study about what are the carbonyl compounds and how many types of carbonyl compounds, what are the structure of this carbonyl compounds, also we are going to study about the nomenclature, how we will name this carbonyl compounds and according to the common system and the IUPAC system. And next, what are the properties of this carbonyl compounds and what are the reactivity as well as the physical properties of this carbonyl compounds. And the student outcome is here the student will going to know about the carbonyl compounds, what is its shape, what is its structure, what is its formula, carbonyl compound, and also they're going to know about the nomenclature of this carbonyl compound, and also they are going to learn about the reactivity of the carbonyl compound. So in our last lecture, we have already studied about the alkylene conjugated dienes, and alkyl halides and your alcohols. So this second and the third unit of your pharmaceutical organic chemistry first is completed. Now this is the third unit which covers your carbonyl compounds, and the carbonyl compounds which it covers are the aldehydes and the ketones. So here we are going to study in this topic carbonyl compound, we are going to study about the aldehydes and the ketones. Next is what are the carbonyl compounds. Carbonyl compounds are the organic compounds that contain carbon-oxygen double bond. So here you can see that the carbonyl compounds are that organic compounds. They are also the organic compounds that are containing your carbon-oxygen double bond. So here you can see the carbon and oxygen is having, between them is having a double bond. And the carbon oxygen double bond is the most important functional group of organic chemistry. So this is the most important functional group of organic chemistry, and this contains your carbon double bond O, and the carbon on the other side have the two bonds which are attached with your hydrogen. If both are attached to the hydrogen, then it will be your aldehyde. And if one is your hydrogen and the other is your if one is your alkyl group, if both are alkyl group, then it is your ketone. So this C double bond O, that is your carbonyl function group, that is the most important function group of your organic chemistry. So here carbonyl compounds in which carbonyl group is bonded to a carbon and hydrogen are known as aldehydes. Here the carbonyl compounds are that organic compounds in which carbonyl group, if carbonyl group is bonded to a carbon hydrogen, are known as aldehyde. So here the carbon and the hydrogen, they are bonded to this carbon, then this is your aldehyde. These are known as your aldehyde. So here, these compounds are known as your aldehydes compounds. These compounds are known as your aldehyde compounds. So carbonyl compounds in which carbonyl group is bonded to carbon atoms are known as ketones. So here, if the carbonyl compound in which carbonyl group is your bonded to a carbon atom, then it is your ketone. And if this carbonyl compound in which carbonyl group is bonded to a carbon and hydrogen are known as your aldehyde. So both of them are your carbonyl compounds. Next is here the carbonyl compounds in which carbonyl group is bonded to oxygen are known as carboxyl group, carboxyl acid, carboxylic acid and their derivatives. So the carbonyl compounds in which the carbonyl group, the carbonyl functional group is bonded to oxygen are known as carboxylic acids and their derivatives. So the carboxyl acid derivatives are your esters and anhydrides. So here the carbonyl compounds are the organic compounds. The carbonyl compounds are the organic compounds that are containing carbon oxygen double bond. So this carbon double bond O, that is your carbonyl compound, that is the most important functional group of your organic chemistry. And if this carbonyl compound is having carbonyl group, if this carbonyl group is bonded from one side of this carbon is bonded to carbon and hydrogen are known as your aldehyde. So if one side is your one side of the carbon is attached to a alkyl group and the other side is bonded to a hydrogen, then it is known as your aldehyde. And the carbonyl compounds in which carbonyl group is bonded to carbon atom. If both the bonds are bonded to a carbon atom, then it is known as your ketone. And the carbonyl compound in which carbonyl carbonyl group is bonded to oxygen are known as, if this one part of the carbon is bonded to oxygen and the second part of this carbon is bonded to your alkyl group, then that is your carboxylic acid and its derivatives. So its derivatives includes your carboxylic acid, the esters and your anhydrides. So the carbonyl compounds where carbon is attached to nitrogen. If the carbon is attached to your nitrogen, COO is in this, the carbon is attached to your nitrogen, then and other side is attached to your alkyl group, then it is your amides. And if the carbonyl compounds, their carbon is attached to halogen, are called your acyl halide. If the carbon is attached from one side is to halogen and the other side is your alkyl group, then it is your acyl halide. Or you can say the second side is attached to a alkyl, the acyl group, then it is your acyl halide. So here these are the carbonyl compounds that are containing this carbonyl functional group, and these are known as your carbonyl compounds. These are your aldehyde, ketone, carboxylic acid and its derivative, that is your esters and anhydrides and amides, acyl halides. In short, carbonyl compounds can be divided into two major groups, that is your aldehydes and ketones. Secondly is your carboxylic acid and its derivatives. So here carbonyl compounds are the organic compounds that are containing your carbon and the oxygen double bond. Between them, carbon and oxygen, there is a double bond in them. If the function group, this carbonyl group is bonded to one side from alkyl group and the second is your hydrogen, then it is your aldehyde. If both the sides are your alkyl group, then it is your ketone. If one side is your oxygen and the other side is your alkyl, then it is your carboxylic acid and its derivatives, that includes your esters and anhydrides. And secondly, that is if the one side is attached to your CO, that is your CO is attached to one side your nitrogen, then it is your amide. One side is your alkyl, then it is your amide. And if one side is your aryl group and the second side is your halogen, then it is your acyl halide. These are the carbonyl compounds that contain aldehyde, ketone, carboxylic acids and its derivative, amides, acyl halide. And these carbonyl compounds are divided into two major groups, that is your aldehydes and ketones and carboxylic acid derivative. So here in this topic, we are going to study about this aldehydes and ketone and carboxylic acid and its derivatives. We are going to study in the next unit, that is your fifth unit. In that we are going to study about this carboxylic acid and its derivative. But in this unit, we are going to study about this aldehyde and ketone. Now, aldehyde and ketone. So here, the study begins of this carbonyl compound with the study of aldehydes and ketone. So here, carbonyl compounds uh, are molecules containing the carbonyl group CO. So here you can see the CO is the carbonyl compound. CO is the carbonyl group, and these are the molecules that are containing this CO group. So these includes your aldehyde and ketone. So here you can see here two bonds to heteroatoms. Means here you can see the two bonds to which the carbon atoms are attached. They both are the heteroatoms, means different atoms. In case of aldehyde you can see, and in case of ketone it can be also, because both alkyl groups can be as you can take the example that one R will be your methyl and on the other side it can be your ethyl. So here the two atoms can be your heteroatoms. So in the aldehyde, this is your formula of this aldehyde, that the carbon is bonded one side to your hydrogen and the other side to your R, that is your alkyl group. Second, ketone. Ketone, in the case of ketone, you can see the carbon is attached to one side is your this alkyl. Both of them are the alkyl group. So, but both can be different alkyl group. Or you can say one side is your alkyl and the other side can be your acyl also. Now the third is your carboxylic acid. So in your carboxylic acid, you can see that the one side is your attached to your oxygen and hydrogen, and the other side is your attached to your alkyl group. So here, this carboxylic acid, this carbon is attached to your OH group, and on the other side it is attached to your alkyl group. Next is your carboxylic acid derivative. So in your carboxylic acid derivative, you can see the esters. So these are the esters, and in your ester you can see that this uh, carbonyl group is attached to one side to your alkyl group, and the other side is your O plus your alkyl group. So here also the alkyl group can be different. These are the esters. It means that CO is attached to one side is your oxygen and the other side this oxygen. This is your oxygen, and here this alkyl group can be different. Means here you can write here methyl group you can take here, and here you can take the ethyl group. Then its name will be your methoxy propane, because we are counting from here 1, 2, 3. So here this name, its ester's name will be your methoxy methoxy propane. So here the second derivative of this carboxylic acid is your anhydride. So here this is your anhydride. Sorry, this is your anhydride, and in your anhydride you can see here that this CO is attached to one side is your alkyl group, and on other side this is your carboxylic acid function group. You can see here this H is removed from here and then it gets attached to this carbon atom. This is your carbonyl group, and here you can see the two carbonyl groups are present. So here in the case of anhydride, this is also a carboxylic acid derivative, and here this carbonyl group is attached, is present in this, and on the one side it is bonded to this alkyl group, and on the other side it is added to this half of this carboxyl group. This is your RCOO. So this is your anhydride. So here the acid halide. So here in case of acid halide, you can see this CO. This is your carbonyl group, which is one side is bonded to this halogen, and on the other side it is your alkyl group. So in your fourth is your amides. Amides, you can see this carbon is attached to one side is your NH2, that is your amide, and the second is your amino group, and this is your R, that is your alkyl group. So this is your amide. So these are all the carboxylic acid derivatives. So once again, I am telling you that the carbonyl compounds are the molecules that contain the carbonyl group. So they are these compounds that are containing this carbonyl group. That is why they are known as these carbonyl compounds. So they are containing this carbonyl. So here the carbonyl group is your C double O, C double bond O. This is your carbonyl group, and in this they are divided into two categories, that is your aldehyde and ketone, and the second is your carboxylic acid and its derivatives. So in your aldehyde and ketone, you can see this carbonyl group, that is your C double bond O, that is attached to one side is your alkyl and the second is your hydrogen. So here in the case of your ketone, you can see that in this the both the carbon is bonded on the both side is your alkyl group, but one can be your different alkyl group and the second one is your different alkyl group. So second category is your carboxylic acid. So in your carboxylic acid, you can see this carbon is attached to your C double bond O. This is carbonyl group is attached to one side is your OH and the other side is your alkyl group. So here the carboxylic acid derivatives, which contains your esters, anhydride, acid halide, amide. So in case of your esters, you can see here that this esters is in this esters you will see that this carbonyl compound is attached to one side is your alkyl group and the other side is your OR dash, that is your another alkyl group. And in your anhydride, this is your carbonyl compound, and in one side it is bonded to alkyl group and the second side it is attached to this carboxyl group. You can see here after removing this H, this whole is your this attached. If it is attached to this carbon atom, this carbonyl carbon, then this is your anhydride. Now third is your acid halide. In this case, halide is present. So here you have to attach one halogen. So here the halogen is present here. So this is your halogen and this is your alkyl group. Next is your amide. So in this case, this is your NH2. This is your alkyl group. So there this is attached to double O is attached to NH2 and this is your R. So this is your amide. Now second is your, so in your next halides. Now here, when the carbonyl group is linked to one alkyl or aryl group and one hydrogen atom, the resulting carbonyl compound is your aldehyde. So here, if this carbonyl group that is linked or is bonded to one alkyl, it can be alkyl or it can be your either it can be your alkyl or aryl group. So here, if one side of this carbonyl carbon is bonded or you can say linked to one alkyl or your aryl group and on the other side it is bonded to one hydrogen atom, then the carbonyl compound will be your aldehyde, and the general formula of an aldehyde is your RCHO. This is the general formula of aldehyde. Secondly, ketones. So ketones are carbonyl compounds in which the carbonyl carbon is linked to two alkyl or aryl groups. Their general formula can be generalized to RCOR dash. So here this carbonyl compounds in which the carbonyl carbon, that is the carbonyl carbon, is linked or is bonded to two alkyl group. It can be two alkyl group or aryl group. It can be one alkyl group or the one aryl group. And their general formula, their chemical formula can be your RCO R dash. So here the aldehydes or ketones, these are the two alkyl the carbonyl compounds that are this aldehyde is containing, or you can say that in this aldehyde, the carbonyl group is linked to one side is your alkyl and on the other side it is your aryl group. And one hydrogen is, it can be one alkyl or aryl group. And on the other bond is bonded to your hydrogen atom. Then this carbonyl compound will be your, or you can say it is called an aldehyde, and its general formula is your RCHO. So here the ketones. Now secondly is your ketones. In case of ketone, the carbonyl carbon is linked to two alkyl or aryl groups. So here this carbonyl carbon is linked to two alkyl or aryl groups, and their general formula, or you can say the chemical formula, is your RCOR dash. So here its general formula is RCOR dash. So, or in case of aldehydes, its general formula is your RCHO, because one side is your alkyl and the other side is your hydrogen. And here, both of them are the alkyl, or you can say the aryl group, or one can be an alkyl and the other can be your aryl group. Next is your carboxylic acid. So, in case of your carboxylic acid, when the carbon is bonded to one alkyl, one side it is your alkyl group and the other side is your aryl group, and one OH group. The resulting carbonyl compound can be classified as carboxylic acid, and its general formula can be generalized to RCOOH. So here you can see the carboxylic acid. In this carboxylic acid, this carbonyl carbon is attached to one side is your OH and the other side is your alkyl, or it can be your aryl group. So the resulting carbonyl compound is classified, or it can be, it is known as, it is called as carboxylic acid, and its chemical formula is your RCOOH. So here you can see the three structures of the aldehyde, ketone, and carboxylic acid. So in the first structure, you can see that the carbonyl carbon is attached to one side is your R, that can be your alkyl group or your aryl group, and the other side is your hydrogen. Secondly, in your ketone, one side is your alkyl group and the second side is your alkyl group. Means here both of them are your alkyl groups, or both of them can be your aryl group, and or one side can be your alkyl and the other side can be your aryl group, or both of them can be a different alkyl group also. Next is your carboxylic acid. So in your carboxylic acid, the one side is your OH group and the other side is your alkyl group. So here, this is your carboxylic acid. Next, the structure of your carbonyl compound. So what is the structure of this carbonyl compound? So in this, the carbonyl carbon is joined to three other atoms by S bond. So here this carbon, which is your carbonyl carbon, that is joined to your three bonded. That means here it is bonded to three atoms by your S bond. Here S bond, and since these bond utilizes sp2 orbital, so these bonded, which this S bonded are utilizing this sp2 orbital, they lies in a plane and are 120 degree apart. So here the angle which is forming is your 120 degree. The remaining p orbital of carbon overlaps a p orbital of your oxygen to form a p bond. So here between this carbon and oxygen there is a p bond forming, because here the p orbital of the carbon is overlapping your p orbital of the oxygen. So here the carbon and oxygen are thus joined by a double bond. So here this carbon and oxygen is having a S and a P bond. So here the S is lying in a plane, and the p orbital is overlapping. The p orbital of your carbon is overlapping with the p orbital of the oxygen, and here there is a formation of this p bond. So carbon and oxygen are first joined by a double bond. So that is why there is a double bond. One here pi bond and one is your sigma bond. The part of the molecule immediately surrounding carbonyl carbon lies in a plane. So here the molecule, the part of the molecule is surrounding your carbonyl carbons, and they are lying in a plane. So the electron of a carbonyl double bond. So the electron of the carbonyl double bond hold together atoms of quite different electronegativity, and hence the electrons are not equally shared. The electron of this carbonyl double bond. So here the carbon is holding a different electronegative atoms, and that is why the electrons of this carbonyl double bond are holding different electronegative atoms, and hence the electrons are not equally shared. So here in this case the electrons are not equally shared. In particular, the polar p orbital, p cloud is pulled strongly towards the more electronegative atom oxygen. So in this case, you can see here this carbon oxygen, this carbonyl double bond, this carbonyl double bond. So the electrons are bonded, or you can say are hold together atom of quite different electronegativity. So this is having a different electronegativity. That is why they is not equally shared. The electrons are not equally shared. That is why the polar p cloud, this cloud, they are forming this p cloud. The p bond that is formed, that is pulled by the more electronegative atom oxygen. So here it's oxygen, that is your oxygen. Oxygen is pulling the electron from here, from this carbon, because it is a very electronegative. This oxygen is electronegative. That is why this is pulling electron from this carbon atom. So here the carbonyl group COO governs the chemistry of aldehyde and ketone. It does this in two ways. That is by providing a site for nucleophilic addition. It means it is providing a site for nucleophilic addition. Means if there is that oxygen is pulling electron from here, then it is having less electrons, and this site is very this site is provided to this nucleophilic addition. So here the nucleophilic addition means here a nucleophile is adding to this carbon atom, because the oxygen is pulling electron and the bond is shifting to this position. So that is why here a nucleophile is adding. So this is known as a nucleophilic addition. Nucleophile means that these have the capability to donate electrons. So they are having electron pairs. So this is having the deficiency of electron. This carbon is having, that is why a nucleophile is adding to it, and this is the perfect site for the nucleophilic addition. Secondly, by increasing the acidity of hydrogen atom attached to the alpha carbon. So here, if this is your carbonia, this is your sp2, this is your next carbon, neighboring carbon or the adjacent carbon, and this this is your alpha hydrogen. So here it is increasing the acidity of hydrogen atom attached. So here this is attached, this carbon is sp3 and this is sp2. So here this hydrogen is attached, and by this attaching of this hydrogen atom, there is an increase of the acidity of this compound. So here the structure of the carbonyl group is that the carbon is attached to the three atoms. You can see here one is your one is your this carbon oxygen, and the two are this alkyl group, or you can say one hydrogen and the other is your alkyl group. So here the carbonyl group is joined to your three atoms by your s bond, and since this bond utilizes sp2, so this carbon is your sp2 orbiter, sp2 hybridized, they lie in a plane and they are forming a 120-degree angle. So this is your 120-degree angle, and the remaining p orbital here, this is your s bond, one side it is bonded to the s and the other is your p. So the p orbital of this p carbon and the p orbital of this oxygen are overlapping here. So there is a formation of this double bond. So here the double bond is formed. So here the part of the molecule depending surrounding carbon line in a plane. So here this of the molecule, that is the carbonyl carbon, they are lying in a plane, and the electrons of a carbonyl double bond hold together atom of quite different electronegativity. It is holding a different electronegative atom. That is why this oxygen, which is the electronegative, it pull electron from this carbon bond. So here the p cloud is shifting to this position. So these electrons are shifting from here, and this carbon is having the deficiency of electron, because this oxygen has pulled electron from this this carbon. So there will be a two sides, or you can say there will be a two ways. So here you can see this carbon is having a deficiency of electron. That is why here there will be addition of a nucleophilic addition. There can be a nucleophilic addition by providing a site. So we are providing a site to the nucleophilic addition. Nucleophile means they have a electron donating property. So here they will donate electron to this carbon, and by increasing the acidity of a hydrogen atom attached to the alpha carbon. So there if an alkyl group or any other alkyl group is attached to this carbon atom, then this carbon is your sp3 hybridized, and this hydrogen is your alpha hydrogen, and this is increasing the acidity of the hydrogen atom. Next is your, they have dipole moment, as like oxygen is more electronegative than carbon. This implies that the carbonyl carbon is slightly positively charged and the carbonyl oxygen is slightly negatively charged. This makes the former susceptible to nucleophilic attack, while the latter should be susceptible to attack by electrophile. So here they have dipole moment as oxygen, because oxygen has pulled electron from the oxygen carbon. That is why the oxygen will contain the partial slightly positive negative charge, and the carbon will get the slightly positive charge. So this makes the former susceptible to nucleophilic attack. So here this will make the carbon, or you can say the carbon will susceptible to your nucleophilic attack, while the latter means the oxygen, while the oxygen here will susceptible to attack by the electrophile, because the oxygen is electronegative and it has pulled electron from the carbon atom, and the carbon is having the electron deficiency, and the carbon is electron deficient. That is why a nucleophile will attack to the carbon atom. Nucleophile has the capacity to donate electrons, and the oxygen is electronegative. So oxygen is having more electron. That is why an electrophile will attack, or electrophile will attack the oxygen, because electrophiles are having less electron, or it is having deficiency of electron. So it will attack to this oxygen which is having a more electrons. So in simple nucleophilic addition reaction, where the rate limiting step is the attack by nucleophile, the rate of reaction will reduce with electron donating R group and enhance with electron withdrawing R group. This is on account of the fact that the positively charged on carbonyl carbon is neutralized progressively on going to the transition state for the nucleophilic addition. So here you can see from one side, here you can see the nucleophile is attacking this position, and this is a transition state, and this nucleophile is attacking to this position, and this product is formed here. Next, thus it is further expected that the factors which may cause the delocalization of the positive charge on the carbonyl carbon will render the nucleophilic addition slow. Thus, such factors include conjugation with aromatic rings, double bond, and group containing unshared pair of electron. As the addition reaction proceeds, the trigonal carbon is converted to your saturated carbon, and any increase in a steric bulk in the R group is expected to hinder the rate of reaction. So here, the carbonyl compounds that are containing sterically bulky groups tend to react slowly and more reversely. If the carbonyl compound is containing bulky group, then there will be a reaction rate will be slow, and it can be a reversible also. Apart from CO2 and metal carbonate, the most abundant carbonyl compounds of natural origins are carboxylic esters and amides. These occur as fat and lipids, which are esters of long chain alkanoic acid, and as proteins, which are polyamides of natural amino acid. The same structural features are found in certain synthetic polymers. So the same which are naturally obtained, they can be found in a synthetic polymers also. And these are the polyesters. This is your dacron polyester, and this is your polyamide polyester. That is a nylon thing. So compared to carboxylic and carbonic acid derivatives, the less highly organized carbonyl compounds such as your aldehyde and ketones are not so widespread in nature. So these aldehyde and ketones are not widespread in nature as compared to your carboxylic acid and carbonic acid derivatives. So that is not to say that they are unimportant. That doesn't mean that they are unimportant. So to the contrary, these aldehydes and ketones are of great importance both in biological chemistry as well as synthetic organic chemistry. So here, if they are not found in the nature, that doesn't mean that they are not important to us, but they are important. These aldehydes and ketones are important to us in both in your biological chemistry as well as in your synthetic chemistry. So however, the high reactivity of the carbonyl group in these compounds enables them to function more as immediate in metabolism or in synthesis than as end product. These facts will become evident as we discuss the chemistry of aldehyde and ketones. Especially important are the addition reactions of carbonyl group, and this will concerned about the reactions of aldehyde and ketone. These are the carbonyl compounds. So here we are comparing this carbon-carbon double bond. So in your carbonyl bond is both a strong bond and a reactive bond, and the bond energy varies widely with structure. As you can see, the methanol has the weakest bond and the carbon monoxide has the strongest. So here both of methanol, here carbon monoxide is having both side is having, I think, double bond. In respective of the variation, the carbonyl compound is not only significantly stronger, but they are more reactive carbon double bond. So here a difference is shown here with the stability and the reactivity in case of your hydration. So this is your carbonyl compound, and this is your double bond, that is your alkene. So here the reaction is going on with the water molecule, and you can see here the formation of this H and OH. So here alcohol is formed, both they have formed, but the CO2 is higher than this K1. Next is your carbonyl bond energy. So here you can see the bond energy of this CO is your carbonyl, that is your 257. That is your carbon dioxide, and this is having 192. This is also 166. Then here aldehyde and ketones are having less, 176 and 179. So here alkenes are having 146 bond energy. So the equilibrium constant for ethene hydration is considerable. That ethene hydration, which we have done in the last slide, is greater than the methanol hydration. So here largely because the carbon-carbon double bond is weaker, and the methanol adds its water rapidly and reversibly at room temperature without need for a catalyst. So here catalyst is not required in case of your methanol, which will react with which, or you can say which will add water rapidly and in a reversal, and it can be reversed at room temperature also. The corresponding addition of water to ethene occurs in the presence of strongly acidic catalyst. But in case of your ethene, which in which the addition of water is occurring, that occurs in the presence of your strong acid catalyst. Aldehyde and ketone. Primarily, these aldehyde and ketones named after the acid, they form an oxidation. So here you can see the formaldehyde is giving oxidation. They are forming an formic acid, and on the other hand, this aldehyde ketones are named by using the name of the group attached to the carbonyl group, and then adding ketone after the name of the group. So here you can see this is your ethyl, then it is your isopropyl, and then it is named according to this ketone. And here you can see dimethyl ketone. On the both sides, the methyl groups are attached. Tribally means according to the common system. So here, according to the IUPAC system, the name of the parent hydrocarbon is determined by counting the carbonyl compound as a methyl group for aldehyde and as a methylene group for ketone. And the substitutions are named according to the done for the hydrocarbons. And here you will see the position of the aldehyde as first position for both aldehyde and ketone. So the naming is done as in alkane, but keeping in mind that the priority sequence and rule of lowest token. Here it means you have to see the priority sequence of the functional group. So here the alkane is modified to alkenyl. So here E is replaced by your L in case of your aldehyde, and in case of your ketone, the E is replaced by your own. That is your alkenyl. So the position of the carbonyl is denoted as a prefix to Al. Next is these are the names. This is your aldehyde, you can see here. So here on the fifth position, the hydroxy group is attached. We are numbering it from this side. So here 5-hydroxy pentanal. Here you can see the pentane 1,5-diol, because on both the sides the aldehyde group is attached. So its name is pentane 1,5-diol. And here one side is your aldehyde. So there its name is 3-methyl butanol, because on the third position, 1, 2, 3, third position is your methyl group. So this name is your 3-methyl butanol. So here you can see the 4-methyl pent-3 on third position. The pentene is there. E means double bond is there. That is why it is named 3-ene-2-un, because it is your ketone. Next is your 1-phenyl butanone 2-O. So here we have started the counting from this side. So 1, 2. So on the second position, the ketone is present. So 1-phenyl 2-butane 2-on. So here this name is 4-methyl cyclohexanone. So in case they are both the aldehyde and ketone functionality, means here if both are present, then how we will name. So here the aldehyde will get the preference first, and it is suffixed with al, and the ketone will get donated by a numerical prefix and is donated by the oxo. So here 2-methyl 4-oxopentenyl. Further consideration of reactivity. The more important reaction of carbonyl group characteristically involves addition at one step or another for the reaction of organometallic reagent and alcohol with carbonyl compound. You may recall that steric hindrance play an important role in determining the ratio between addition and other competing reactions. Similar effects are observed in a wide variety of other reactions. We expect the reactivity of carbonyl group in addition process to be influenced by the size of the substituent thereon. Because when addition occurs, the substituent groups are pushed back closer to one another. So here you can see these are the bulky groups that are attached, and here the steric hindrance is more. So the reactivity and the equilibrium constant decreases with the increasing bulkiness of substituents as is shown. So here the reactivity and the equilibrium constant will decrease if the steric hindrance, or you can say if there is an increase of your bulkiness of your substituent. So strains effect also contributes to reactivity of cyclic carbonyl compounds. So here you can see this is your normal bond angle, and here you can see this is your 60-degree angle, and this is showing the 90-degree angle. So here the addition of a nucleophile such as ethna to these carbonyl compounds create a tetrahedral structure, tetrahedral center with the less strain in the right bond to carbon first. Next, this is your Hamming-Kettles. So here cyclopropanol will leave ethna degree angle, and there form cyclobutanol. So here electrical effect also an important plays an important role in influencing the age of addition to carbonyl group. So electron attracting group facilitate the addition of a nucleophilic reagent. So here carbon by increasing its positive character. So here you can see this is the electronegative minus having the positive, so nucleophile will attack to this position. So these compounds such as following and nucleophilic reagent readily. So they are adding the nucleophile reagents. The next is your physical property. So the property of the carbonyl group is that the boiling point for the lower member of the series of the aldehyde and ketone is 50 to 80 degrees, as higher than that of the hydrocarbon of the same molecule. So here the water solubility of the lower molecular weight aldehyde and ketone is pronounced, and this is to accept that the low molecular weight and is the consequence of hydrogen bonding with the water and the electronegativity oxygen of the carbonyl. So here you can see the solvation of your carbonyl compound through hydrogen bonding. So there hydrogen bonding is occurring between this oxygen and the hydrogen. So these are the physical properties of your aldehydes and ketones. And here you can see the aldehyde, which is your methanol, which is having -21. Ethanol is having 21 degrees centigrade, and here you can see these are having cyclos are having the more boiling point. This is having more boiling point, this is having more, and these ketones are having boiling point which is very high, 202 degrees centigrade. This is the acetophenol. So here this is the physical properties of aldehyde and ketone. Next, this is the characteristic absorptions, infrared absorption frequencies of your carbonyl compounds. So these amides are showing the C-double-O bond O stretch at 1680, and this carboxylic is showing at 1710. This carbon is showing the frequencies at this much on your IR infrared absorption frequencies, and ketone is showing your this much. All are having a different, but both are all are having a C double bond O carbonyl group, but they are showing a different frequency at this infrared absorption frequency. Next, this is a spectroscopic property. As you can say, the carbonyl compound in a compound positively identified by the strong infrared in the region of 1650 to 1850 centimeter per centimeter. So here the stretching vibration of the carbon oxygen double bond and the position of the bond within this frequency depend on the molecular environment of the carbonyl group. So here we frequently can tell the band where the structure is an aldehyde. So here by seeing these bands, by seeing this infrared absorption band, we can easily identify, or we can easily say that this structure is your aldehyde, this is your ketone, this is your carboxylic acid, this is your esters, this is your amide, and this is your anhydride. So here the frequencies, third, the aldehyde and ketones absorb at slightly lower frequency, but they are having a longer wavelength than your carboxylic esters and your anhydrides. Now the questions. Which of the following compound do not contain a carbonyl group? So here, which are not having a carbonyl group. So the alcohol is not having a carbonyl group. Next is your, how many carbon atoms does formaldehyde have? So how many carbon atoms this formaldehyde is having? This is having 1. Because its formula is HCHO. So the carbon is your 1. Next is your, what is the common name of butanol? So its name is alpha butanol aldehyde. Next, what is the common name of the compound which has a CHO group attached to a sp2 hybridized carbon of a benzene ring? Oh, if a CHO group is attached to a benzene ring, then its name is your benzaldehyde. This is your known as benzaldehyde because the CHO group is attached to a benzene ring. Next is your, which of the following is the incorrect name of the following compound? So here the incorrect name of this this compound is your this is a gamma methyl butyrylaldehyde. Because it can be named as beta also. Beta methyl butyryldehyde, or you can say 3-methyl butanol, and isovanillaldehyde also. Next, the prefix vanil is generally used for naming aldehyde with how many carbon atoms in the structure? C, that is your 5. So here you can see isovanillyl 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carbon, that is why it is known as vanillaldehyde. What is the correct IUPAC naming of the compound shown? Its name is your cyclohexane carbaldehyde. This is your cyclohexane. This is cyclohexane, and this is your aldehyde that has, that is why it is known as cyclohexane carbaldehyde. Next is your, identify the correct IUPAC name of this. CH3 CH double bond CH CHO. So its name is your butenol. Next is your, the compound 3-phenyl-pro-2-enol is known as your, that is cinnamaldehyde. Next, identify the correct common name of the following compound. That is your D. Because that is your gamma methyl cyclohexane carbaldehyde. So on the gamma position, there is this alpha, beta, and gamma. There is this gamma, methyl cyclohexane carbaldehyde. Correct name of this compound is your methyl cyclohexane carbaldehyde. So these are the references from where you can study this topic. Thank you so much. In the next, we will study about the reactions.